Yo, what's guys, Bonfire here back in the video, and today we're going to be hopping into a Madden 23 rebuild. Now, we are going to have the updated rosters, which is nice post-draft, and today we're going to rebuild the Houston Texans. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below for more of these rebuilds, because we have a lot of teams that we can actually do. The Colts would be an interesting one. The Texans, of course, we're doing. The Panthers would be a great one to do as well. So we have a lot that we can do, even Tennessee. So there's a lot of interesting teams, and you know, in this period of Madden, bored by the gameplay, this stuff is a little bit more interesting to me. So I do enjoy making some more of these. But let's go through, take a look at some of the rosters, because a lot has changed in the NFL, as we all know. Now, our roster is one of the worst. Just going through everything, we have quarterback CJ Stroud. We have Davis Mills, who still does have star development, so he can be an asset to actually move. At the halfback position, we have Dameon Pierce, which I like a lot. We did sign Devin Singletary. I'm not sure how I like that signing. Might look to trade him. I'm not sure if it was a 1 year or 2 year deal. Wide receiver, pretty god-awful. You have nothing, so I do think we need to make some kind of a move for a wide receiver, because otherwise we're not doing anything. We have Schultz, which I like at the tight end position. I think that was a good pickup. Offensive line, Tunsil is great. We have Shaq Mason, who is great, but the rest is pretty terrible. Titus Howard is formidable at the right tackle. Jerry Hughes, he has star development still. He's 77 overall. Will Anderson, obviously you gave up a ton to go up and move to get Will Anderson, so you're going to hope that he becomes great, which he should. We have Greenard, which we can actually probably move as well, because we don't need two good right ends. This isn't the NFL where they rotate as much as they do in Madden. D-tackle, I don't hate these guys, honestly. Malik Collins, former Cowboy. Left outside linebacker, pretty terrible. Middle linebacker, Perryman, I like. Terrible. Corners, they're okay. Stingley has potential. These guys aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination, so you have Jimmy Ward, and then you have, so the secondary isn't terrible, but obviously the offense is where we kind of need to pick up things, and then defensively, we could obviously add to some of these guys. So let's go ahead and get into making some of these moves. Now, of course, we don't have our first round pick either, which does stink. The Cardinals will be getting our first round pick, so that is going to mean we have the Cleveland Browns first pick, so we're going to be rooting for our team, and then whoever plays the Cleveland Browns. There's no reason to tank as well, so I'm going to go through, see what we can do with some of these moves. Alright, so we went ahead and got a deal done. This is the first deal of the video. We got rid of Devin Singletary again. He wasn't necessarily needed. The Colts had green interest in Singletary and Davis Mills, and we dump a 4th round pick. I was really close to getting away with just a 5th, but we get rid of the 4th round pick, which doesn't have too much value for us. And in exchange, we get Michael Pittman Jr. Now, we will have to pay him after this season. I believe so. And we get a 7th back, which we can use. But getting Michael Pittman Jr., getting CJ Stroud, a good wide receiver, is going to be very important for his development. He needs people to throw the ball to, besides Robert Woods, who isn't that great by himself. Now, Mills was a pretty good asset for us because he had that star development, but getting the wide receiver, Michael Pittman is young. He will develop. I think it's very important, and it takes away one of our biggest positions of need. Taking a look at our depth, it's not awful now, and I think we can get by with this for this first season. Again, we're not expecting, and really for this rebuild, we're not necessarily looking to go to a Super Bowl contender. We're just looking to make the playoffs and be a solid team like that. So again, next up, I think I have to upgrade this offensive line, specifically this center position, because when you face a Chris Jones, anybody of that tier, you're going to need something. So we'll see if we can make a move for him. All right, so we did get a left guard. I did give up a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. Cornerback, who's our 4th or 5th corner, we have someone who can replace him in dime packages or dollar packages, so we're fine there. We did give up a 3rd. We had 2 third-round picks for this year, so I'm not too overly concerned with giving up that in this deal, and we get a left guard. So I think I'm going to simulate for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes a couple games in. Keep you guys updated. Simulating the first week, and we lost 27-20. That's overall fine. Again, we would have liked to beat the Colts. Our schedule is going to be just the schedule from this previous season, because that's how it's laid out. I wasn't going to simulate the whole year. That just throws everything off, puts people on different teams. I won't be able to control free agency after this year, so we might see a little bit of weird stuff, but that's kind of to be expected. Again, 27-20 and I'll keep you guys updated throughout the season or whenever I make my next move. Alrighty, we are 4 games in. We are 0-4, which is just an amazing start for the boys. Can tell this is going to be a little bit of a tougher rebuild just off the bat. Now, it's been very inconsistent with the offense and the defense. The offense will be good one game, the defense will be good the other. They're just never coming together. So we're going to have to try and make a couple more moves. Now, again, the late round draft picks typically aren't great, especially when we're trying to do a quicker rebuild, not like a 10-year rebuild. So might try and move some of those. I probably want another wide receiver or that center position, because the 66 overall center in all likelihood is what is probably killing us. To upgrade some guys. Now, do have the bye week coming up. We had a Stingley upgrade, which we will definitely take. He is actually still hidden, which is interesting. I'm going to go zone here. So he should be star or superstar development, I'm not sure, but that means that Stroud and them are probably all about the same as well. So yeah, we'll hit you up when we make some moves. All right, here's just a simple deal. We picked up an upgrade at center, despite it not being that much of an upgrade. 4 overalls, you'll take it for your 5th corner in the lineup, so I'm not hating that move, but we'll see if we can move that other center now for somebody else. You know, just getting slight upgrades. You know, even if it's 3 overalls, you'll still take it. All right, we made another deal, got rid of Winovich, who was our backup left end behind Will Anderson anyway. Picked up Nwosu, which was 3rd or 4th position of need. We needed both outside linebackers, so we pick up one. Our defense has really been more of the issue, our run offense. When you look at the numbers, it's been kind of our run offense and our defense just as a whole. Passing defense and points per game, giving up 29 points per game, is not going to win you many football games. So we kind of made slight upgrades at both. Center, you'll take, but overall, just getting a little bit better. And we'll kind of hit you guys at the trade deadline, I think week 8, week 9. All right, so you guys saw we just went through, re-signed Dalton Schultz. We also re-signed Desmond King, 2 younger players that I don't mind re-signing. Look at what else we don't have to re-sign. Perryman doesn't want to re-sign, so we will trade him. He's 29 and he has normal development. He's only going to start to regress. Sheldon Rankins, we can move him if he's not interested in Sheffield. Who cares? There's nobody else really important, which is actually nice because we have a lot of cap space in the offseason, which is probably where we'll make our main upgrades. Because I feel like we've already done a decent enough job to, you know, I'll hit you guys at the trade deadline though, see if we can actually win a game. All right, boys, finally this far into the season, Will Anderson gets his first upgrade. Now, Will Anderson actually does have a superstar X factor. CJ Stroud is just star instead of superstar, which he should be superstar, but you know, it is what it is. Abilities wise, you know, he doesn't have much, but once he gets to an 80 overall, I think he should get more. CJ Stroud does get this. We're going to, let's do improviser. Now, his overall is down. He was 70. He's really 75, I think. It's down because of, we're 0-5, so that's a pretty solid reason, I would say. Hey, we finally took a dub. Surprisingly against the Raiders, who were 3-2 at the time, but we do get our first win, which we will certainly take. I actually want to check up on the Browns, see how they are doing. And of course, the Browns are just randomly 7-0, so I'm certainly going to move that pick because we need to at least get something, and somehow they're just the greatest team ever win in real life. That's a top 10 pick, especially in the AFC, but you know, Madden's weird like that, so I'll hit you guys when we make a deal for that. My boy Will Anderson getting another upgrade. You just love to see that. We're just going to keep upgrading Speed Rusher because that's going to give him all those finesse moves. It's going to be able to give him those cheese abilities like Edge Threat that, you know, put in work. So +2 finesse moves. You will definitely love to see that. And he's already almost at an 80 overall. So he should be getting some nice abilities soon. I don't know if he gets another slot, what exactly it entails, but we'll definitely take it. New center, picking up an upgrade as well. So we will go, let's go power because our run game is so terrible. All right, boys, I just made a huge trade, gave up a ton of value, but I think it makes the team a lot better when you look down at it. So we gave up our Browns first-round pick, so we have no first-round pick this year. We have no second-round pick this year, or that's actually next year, but we also have no second-round pick this year. But we get 3 positions of need. And again, I said free agency was where I'm going crazy because I don't want to wait any more time for another player to have to develop because they're not going to impact us actually in the rebuild really at this point. So we get Jerry Jeudy, who is a star development, Randy Gregory, who is also a star development, and we get Mike McGlinchey, who's also a star development. If I'm not mistaken, he could be regular, but Regardless, it's 3 positions of need, and the team is just significantly better. Really, all we need is a center, and we're going to need someone to replace Jerry Hughes next year. But this makes us a lot better. I am going to have to cut 3 players, but we can just cut 3 trash cans, and the team is going to be looking a lot better. Now, they will eat up a little bit of cap. I think some of them need to get re-signed. Jerry Jeudy is not until after next year anyway, so we're overall not in a terrible position. And this trade could actually make us win some games. So hopefully the Cardinals pick is not number 1 overall. We did take an L, but my boy Jerry Jeudy is picking up an upgrade. He is star development, and he's only 23 years old despite this being his 3rd year in the NFL, which is really nice because he could easily get to 90 overall and easily reach superstar development down the line if we start winning some games. So overall, we're sitting pretty good. Again, defense is where I'm probably going to spend the most of my free agency money, because offensively, we really would just need a slot wide receiver, maybe a backup running back, and then that center position. So overall, I think we're sitting pretty good. Boom, we get another CJ Stroud upgrade. We'll take that. I'm going to go strong arm here, get that throw power up. Or not, but 76 overall, continuing the progression. It's what you love to see. Now we still are 1-10, which is just absolutely brutal. But, you know, you got to keep playing. We do play the Browns, who are 9-2, and our schedule has been pretty tough, to say the least. Our division games we should be winning, but I think we have more of those towards the end of the season. We actually beat the Cleveland Browns, which is, I think, the best team we faced. Very shocking, but we will definitely take that. That should get us some boosts. Finally picking up a win. That win was definitely huge because we just got 2 upgrades to use for CJ Stroud, which is massive. I think because of the win, we get tons of stats right there, and I'm going to go with another improviser here to take that up to 78 overall. So just overall a huge win right there, actually. We had a lot of boosts on the line, and we'll take that. We get tons of other players here as well. All right, we went ahead, sim to the end of the season, and we finished the year up 3-14. Not great. Our division looks pretty stacked from the looks of it. And looking at our ranks, we did not finish that great. Our passing per game was good. Our running was one of the worst in the NFL, which means probably you should need another running back. Defense was the 2nd worst in the NFL. And overall, just not great from the boys. But we do have time to fix this. Again, we weren't expecting to be good in this first year, which is why we do it. I need to upgrade you as a receiving back, buddy. And the team morale is -4, which is obviously just making us lose even more. So, you know, it's just certainly not ideal. But we have some upgrades. We have the offseason to look forward to. So overall, I'm not feeling too terrible. Everyone's going to return to normal morale, which is going to get the team kind of back to what we want. Now, we do have some assets that we can also move. Randy Gregory, he is older. We gave up a lot for him, but we can also get a lot in return for him. So, you know, we definitely have some thinking to do. Draft picks wise, we don't have that much capital, so maybe we even move the capital to pick up some other guys in addition. But we get Will Anderson, another upgrade. He really is, again, like an 81 overall, but team morale, all that stuff goes into it, bringing him down. So, you know, we have a lot to look forward to. But, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it through the season. I will see you guys when we get to the Super Bowl, just to see who ends up winning that thing. All right, here we are at the Super Bowl, and a team in our division ended up making it, which is not a great look for the future. We got the Indianapolis Colts with, I think, Richardson at QB. I will check it out after, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I have no idea how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get there. Let's actually check out the yearly reward to see if we won anything at all. Matt Ryan is leading the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl at 74 overall. Just a great top 3 right year of the CFM MVP voting. Pretty hilarious that you don't see any of the other good QBs, even Watson there. Coach of the year, obviously we weren't in there, but let's go to the AFC. Opoy, nobody there. Depoy, obviously nobody there. I'm actually wanting to check out the stats. Dameon Pierce was in there for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Looks like Richardson is the starting QB on that Colts team. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we get Will Anderson there, so he must have had a little bit of a decent season. Best QB, Stroud not even there. Nobody there. Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver 3. We'll take that for sure. Offensive line, nobody. Defensive line, nobody. So overall, our team is actually, we get Randy Gregory there, but I'm going to check out the stats real quick, see how the boys actually did I haven't checked them all season, so this is going to be new for us. Let's go through our stats of the team. CJ Stroud really did have a good season, almost 5,000 yards, 33-17. You expect that from a young quarterback. 63%, want to get that up a little bit, but it was a good season for him. Let's check out rushing. We know that we weren't great, only 1,000 yards. You'd like to get that up 60 yards a game. Stroud, I'd like to see him use the wheels more. Receiving, Robert Woods was our leading receiver, which is definitely not the path to doing anything. So we don't want to see that. Judy, again, had a good season. I'd like to see Pittman do more. He was here from the beginning, so as long as catch being 30 yards is not something that we like, maybe we need to fire some people. Who give the most sacks? Tunsil, I'm very disappointed in that. You give the most sacks, you're the best player. Interceptions, not that many picks. Stingley, wish he would have played a little bit better, but that's it. So we'll go ahead, hop into free agency and see how everything goes. All right, and the Colts end up winning the Super Bowl, which makes things just a little bit tougher in this rebuild, especially if you want to win the division, have success in the playoffs, because they just won the division. But I think we can get a lot better in the offseason. I feel like our team already was pretty good. They just didn't play to the standard, but we can definitely address some things. We have some upgrades, see if we get any of the big boys. It's just all the bums on the practice squad, so don't really like to see that. But offseason is really our regular season. The draft, again, I think the Cardinals will probably have the first overall pick with our selection, which is not ideal. And Wyatt, I don't know that it was a great trade in real life, but because they'll get a Marvin Harrison Jr., or if they want quarterback, they got Caleb Williams. But let's go ahead, and I think I'm good with the staff. We've upgraded them a lot through the year, so I don't want to throw that away necessarily. So what we're going to do is just advance to that re-sign period, see if we like anything. Now, Dalton Reisner does not want to re-sign, which is obviously a pretty tough hit for us. There's no point in completely overpaying him, because I think we have those future draft picks that we could use to trade for someone. Sheldon Rankins, he's not interested either. So I guess I should have moved those guys, but it was kind of like right at the deadline that I traded for them. But we can maybe re-sign them in free agency, or what we can do is just pick up somebody else. He is 28 and he is 29, so these guys would have kind of began to regress anyways. So, and again, Perryman, he's older, although he is pretty solid. The rest are not very good, so we're not losing that much in free agency, and I think we'll be picking up a lot better stuff than what we are, giving up, which is nice. We also don't have to worry about the draft, so I don't have to, hide away from any positions. We can kind of go all in. Now we just got to hope that it is a good free agency class, because we have a lot of money to spend. Otherwise, maybe we can make some deals, and it does not look super great, especially when a lot of these guys are not interested. Miles Jack might be a guy we look at because he has a lot of interest. He has X-Factor development, and we need a middle linebacker position. Wide receiver, of course, we don't necessarily need too many wide receivers. We just need really a slot guy. So, some of these guys can do the tricks. I probably will trade Robert Woods also. Offensive line, it's honestly not looking great. I might have to try and make a move for one of those offensive linemen. Just sign someone at a different position, use that as the trade bait, and then we will, go ahead and move on from there. Center, there is a 78 overall center. He is kind of old, which I don't hate, or which I don't like really, but everything else, again, is not great. We do need a D tackle, which again, there's not really that many D tackles, especially young guys. But I do want to make a offer for Miles Jack here, so he's going to be kind of our big guy. I'm going to give him a little extra so that he does sign with us, because we have the extra money anyways. 4 years is a little bit long. We have a pretty solid offer, I would say. So, or actually, it's not the top offer, so I'm going to have to withdraw and give him more money, which is unfortunate. But we're going to go up to 5.3. Let's go 4.2. This should be a full level offer. Dang. Especially because he wants to go to the Jaguars, which he would just be, I would kind of be sick if he went to the Jaguars. I'm just going to go up to 6. I'm going to go up to 4 or 5. This should be good enough. And he is. So, see if he signs with us. We really did all we could. Backup plans, no, again, there's not a lot of interest because of how terrible we were, which kind of stinks, but I'll hit you guys when I make some other offers. All right, so we had this extra center. Again, he was only normal development, 70 overall. We have the 73 guy anyways under contract, so we just moved it to the Jets for their 23 third-round pick. Again, a lot of the assets I have now aren't super valuable, especially at the double positions. You just don't, since we have no depth at all. So finding guys with draft picks will definitely be beneficial. We'll see if we can trade for a better left guard or center here. All right, we did make kind of a big move here. We traded Robert Woods, which was our wide receiver 3. We got rid of our left guard who started last year. He's a 74 overall. He does have star development, but we pick up a guy who's a lot better. Landon Dickerson, again, the run game is really where it hurt us. Landon Dickerson, one of the best run blockers in the league. And we give up our third that we just moved, made the move for. So overall, upgrading that left guard position leaves us in a good spot. Again, left end is going to be kind of our big concern. Wide receiver is now a concern, because at this left end position we have Jerry Hughes. He regressed, as you would expect when you lose that many games. He's now normal development, so we do want to address him. He has a little bit of money on his contract, so we'll see if anybody is interested at all, and if we can dump him maybe for a draft pick or a better left end. All right, so we threw an offer in for Bryce Huff. Again, left end is a position of need. We're just going to try and sign one, otherwise we'll have to trade for one. So a lot of these are going to be overpays because there's just nobody on the market. I don't know why the 49ers would need another left end, but since they want to just sign every single left end, again, D tackle is going to be another position that we really want to upgrade. I'm going to try and pick up another middle linebacker potentially and throw in an offer for Zach Cunningham just in case we don't pick him up. I'm going to go 2 years at this amount, see if he's interested or if there's any other offers. And we'll compete with Seattle, see if we can pick him up. And then I'm going to throw an offer for a wide receiver and a backup running back. All right, so I threw in an offer for Jeff Wilson at the backup running back, and then I just tossed one for McCole Hardman. If we can't pick him up, I think I'm going to try and trade for someone because I want someone above an 80 overall, and the best available after that that's interested would be Quez Watkins. Hardman wasn't even interested in me, so. And for some reason, Miles Jack goes to the Jaguars when they give him less money, and they traded him for a bag of chips, so that's just fantastic. McCole Hardman goes to the Chiefs, so that's another L for the boys. Did the Texans sign anybody? Now, we did get Bryce Huff, which is definitely a position of need. Now that we have left end addressed, again, we need middle linebacker. Jeff Wilson looks like he hasn't made a decision yet. We have middle linebacker, running back, wide receiver, and yeah, so middle linebacker probably going to be a trade just because what's really available is not much. I might try and just sign Byron Jones and trade him for somebody because, again, these guys, I might throw one in for Rashaan Evans. He's cheaper. Again, no one else really interested. I would love these guys, but again, if they don't have interest, it's difficult to sign them. Now, I threw in offers for Rashaan Evans, which we were tied with for the best offer. I threw in one in for Davenport and Byron Jones, using those mainly for trade pieces. We still have the offer for the running back. And then again, I mentioned I'm going to trade for the wide receiver, so we'll see who we end up picking up. We do have some fifth-year options to address, but what will we get? And we get Byron Jones, we get Rashaan Evans, we get Davenport, and we get Jeff Wilson. So really everybody that we wanted. And Byron Jones, again, we're probably not going to keep. We don't necessarily need that cornerback position. I will readdress the depth because maybe we move someone else, but it's good getting Davenport because he will for sure be traded. Let's take a look at the team post those signings because I don't know that I really need to make any other signings. I used a good amount of money, but again, some of those guys will be traded for other positions. I think we have Randy Gregory at that outside linebacker, but here, center, all these guys overalls are way down because of the team morale. CJ Stroud is down 6 overalls, 4 overalls, 1 overall, 3 overalls. So this guy's really a 73. So the team looks a lot worse than it actually is. I'm not sure when team morale goes up. Right outside linebacker, we have Nwosu. So again, Davenport, he's good depth, but we'll probably move him. I also need a D tackle, which I didn't remember. Cornerback, maybe we could actually use Byron Jones. I want Stingley for sure, at least cornerback 3. So I might try and move Steven Nelson, but Byron Jones does make us a better team. So I'll try and move Steven Nelson probably for a D tackle. We could also use a backup middle linebacker. Secondary, other than that, is pretty fine. Again, offensively, really all I would need is another wide receiver, potentially a center. So we'll see what we can get for Davenport. Of course, the best offer I can put together is just not enough, sadly, for Marquise Brown. So we're going to have to keep looking just for kicks and gigs. Do we see if DeAndre Hopkins is less value than Marquise Brown? Maybe he does. No, so we're going to have to find another receiver. All right, so we traded Davenport for Jalen Carter straight up. Now, Jalen Carter's I think it's just normal development. I probably will change that to star. I don't want, actually, no, I guess we'll leave it because I don't want to cheat the system. Maybe he's at normal development, we'll see. But we can pick up Jalen Carter, we'll take that. That fills defensive tackle for us decently. We probably still want another one. And Malik Collins, he's alright. He's 28, yeah, I think we're fine at D tackle. We still do need a wide receiver, so we're going to see if anybody is interested in Steven Nelson here. Hopefully they are. Maybe a third. Alright, now we picked up Zay Jones. He's going to be our slot guy. He's not the best, but straight up the cornerback for him is not terrible. Now our cap space is definitely not looking great, so, you know, you don't want to see that. But again, we have a lot of guys. I think I can still trade Hughes, who's going to be a lot of cap hits. We have a lot of those old guys who are making a lot of money that next year when they become bad, we can move them for maybe some younger pieces. But overall, I think the team is looking pretty solid. I don't know that I need to make any more moves necessarily until the season starts. We still have the draft, so maybe I'll try and move that third round pick for something, you know, because drafting a third round guy, it's not really going to be good, and we can find someone cheaper, like maybe a rotational cornerback, like a fourth corner. So that's what we'll do. See you guys there. All right, and I did pick up our fourth corner actually in free agency, Kyle Fuller. He's decent at 78 overall. He's 31, so he's older, but he's not super old. So I think what I'm going to do with that third is just try and turn it into a 20 next year or second, something like that. Again, I don't really care about the draft in this particular rebuild, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do, especially without having my first round pick. I also have to do that trade to the Cardinals to give them their pick. It kind of sucks. A lot of the other draft picks I won't be able to do. Like, I don't know if we got anything in return, but we're about to give the Cardinals our draft pick, which kind of stinks. I'm just going to trade it for like a 7th. I don't know if we actually got a pick in return, but I don't think they care about the 7th. There, they get the first overall pick. We'll see what they use it on. I'm not sure what actually pick they have themselves. We'll see here. So they have pick 1, pick 5, so they can definitely pick up some pieces that they need. But with that third, see if we can pick up anything else. All right, so we pick up the Chiefs' second round pick for next season. I gave up 5th from next year, 5th from this year, and then a 3rd from this year. So again, we weren't going to use those selections. Second, it's going to be a little bit better for trades since I feel like the roster is good now. And I don't need to make any more trades until next season, so that'll be kind of a next season problem. And yeah, I guess we're just going to simulate until the offseason recap. Maybe we'll see how the first couple picks of the draft goes though. Cardinals end up taking a center that I've never heard of at the first overall pick, so interesting decision. I don't know how the Chargers are so bad that they have the second overall pick when they have one of the best teams in the NFL. See what they pick. And Damon Payne, I know he is good. All right, boys, we have hit opening day. Here is a look at the roster. Now, everybody is back to normal morale, which means our team overall is going to be a lot better. At the end of the season, you know, we were making moves for some guys. Our team definitely got better, but the fact that our stuff was so bad, our morale was so bad because we had the worst record in the league, meant the guys are going to play a little bit worse. So here's a look at the opening day roster. CJ Stroud at 78 overall. He's going to be a lot better than he was last year. We got Michael Pittman Jr., Jerry Jeudy. We got Zay Jones +2. We got Jeff Wilson, Dameon Pierce at an 85. The offensive line looking good. Looks like we actually hit someone in the 7th round. I just simmed the draft, so we'll take that. Schultz, Jordan, center, again, the weakest link. But other than that, it's like full of stars. So if we play good, these guys are going to develop very quickly. Taking a look at the defense, we got Will Anderson at that 81 overall. He should skyrocket this season. We got Byron Jones, Derek Stingley, who still is young. He still can progress. Middle linebacker, it's all right. Randy Gregory and Nwosu. Safety's looking a lot better. We got Jalen Carter here. See if he can turn into a star development type of guy. But overall, we're looking good. We got the week 1 against the Steelers. I feel like our schedule was pretty tough last year. It looks pretty easy to start the year. Again, our division is going to be really good besides the Titans. So see if we can pick up the win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It should be a win, but you never know. And 7. All right, week 1 was just a fluke. See what we can do in week 2. Again, we got the better team. I don't know why our offense just shot down in overall. It's fun, but Patriots are a worse team than us. Should be a win. You know, maybe it's the coaching. Maybe it's me. I'm not sure. Everybody is like maxed out on coaching. I'm just not sure why our defense is that bad. Our defense should be a lot better, honestly. Get another upgrade for Stingley, which is nice. Maybe I just need another year of development for these guys, but if we lose so many games, they're going to lose their development traits, and they're going to start tanking in morale and overall. So, and then we play the Colts in week 5. Things just not looking good, honestly. I'll show you guys all these franchise stuff. The staff, actually. I've been upgrading the offense. He's basically maxed out, honestly. I mean, some of these, like, is impact, maybe run block power. Upgrade that. Awareness. So, I mean, we have a lot of upgrades we can still make, but we don't make as much when we're losing games. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Should beat the Falcons, though. All right, now we should definitely beat the Falcons. They have Taylor Heineke at their quarterback position. We need this win badly for the boys. Can we pick it up? And it's another L. Just fantastic. And then we play the Bengals, the Colts, the Titans, who are 2-1. The Colts are actually 0-3, so never mind. They're not a tough team after they just randomly won the Super Bowl. Ooh, we got some big-time upgrades for the boys after our training. Will Anderson again. He should just continue to get better, honestly. I don't know why he's not better than he is. I mean, look at this dude. He's got some crazy finesse moves, I think. There's ratings. Down because morale, but he's at 85. 88 strength because we have those boosts. So, you know, he should be a lot better. Jalen Carter. Let's go power rusher. Again, he's down in morale also. So the boys need this win badly. Otherwise, it's going to be another lost season. Again, I'm not sure why he is normal development. The creator of the just roster had it at that. They probably were too lazy to go in and change everybody's development. That's a rookie, which is understandable. But again, I might consider selling people because we have a lot of people to pay. I might start selling some people. And honestly, just racking up draft picks if it's going to be this long of a rebuild. Thankfully, we pick up a win. Huge for the boys. We should get some boosts in this. Should get some boosts because of, I set it as the team. 2,500 XP, that's actually going to be clutch for some of those young guys that we have. We pick up a lot of staff training as well, but that's a huge win. We facing the Colts, and our division is honestly still wide open. If we can win these next 3 games, we'll be at 4-3, and we'll probably be atop the division unless the Jaguars win their next 3 as well. Let's take a look at some of the guys that we're have to re-sign throughout the season because I don't expect to make us the playoffs this season. Tunsil, he's up after this year. That's going to be a problem. Byron Jones, his up after this year, so maybe we trade him at the deadline because he was signed as a trade asset anyways. Definitely have to at least get something. These guys have no interest, which is very disappointing. So if I'm not able to re-sign, we're going to have to make a lot of moves for some guys who are under contract, considering just nobody wants to sign with us. Tunsil we can get a ton for, so I can get multiple first-round picks that I can turn into a young left tackle that actually wants to play for us. So, you know, we'll see. We'll try re-signing him. I'm not going to overpay, though, because we already don't have that much cap space as it is. I thought Tunsil just signed a... Am I stupid, or did Tunsil just sign a contract extension in real life? Get some nice offensive line upgrades here. Landon Dickerson, I don't think his contract is up, but he's going to be nice for us. Maybe I need to change the scheme stuff, because power running, we're a god-awful power running team, I think. McGlinchey, he is god-awful as a pass protector, so I'm going to upgrade that. Jesus, dude. He's probably getting in. He actually had a good season last year, I think. Tunsil was worse. And Tunsil just never gets upgraded, so we can never do it. We're going to upgrade you in pass coverage, because since the CPU probably has him playing pass coverage every down. 80 overall, take those. But we'll see if we can pick up this win against the Colts. Now, again, with the Colts, they are... They have bronze or normal development Anthony Richardson. I did change Stroud and Will Anderson to make the rebuild more realistic, and we got our asses kicked. Points per game, we're last, basically. Terrible passing. We have a lot better rushing. Our defense is a little bit improved, honestly, actually. We're 21st. We were like 30th last year. Pass defense is awful, which I think our secondary is the best part of the team. So that is confusing, but, you know, see if we can pick up a couple wins. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, actually. So let's speed this thing up a little bit. Now, of course, Byron Jones would be the one who just has the most interest. I probably will re-sign Nwosu as well, considering he's young. He's solid. Jimmy Ward will definitely trade because you're an old head and you're going to regress significantly in value. The rest of the boys aren't really tough. Titus Howard, so we will need a new right tackle because I don't really care. Maybe I will re-sign him actually. We'll see. Tunsil, you're not very interested. I'm going to offer you a little bit more than you want, but not by a lot, and I won't overpay. So, hey, he'll re-sign. We'll take that. That's actually big for us. We have a ton of cap room in 24 because of all these dudes who are making a crap ton. Pittman, I honestly probably will try to re-sign and see if he wants it. I don't think I'd get anyone better. You need more to convince me. I'll pay him a couple $1 million more. Other than that, I don't really care. Shaq Mason, he's good. He's older. Again, well, we can move all these guys because we're going to suck anyway, clearly, just on base how the season is going. So, see if we pick up a win here. I know I was gonna say I was gonna go up a couple weeks, but I did end up doing that, and we end up picking up a win. Take it. All right, I will show the Colts stuff just because it's a division foe. Can we pick up the win against the Indianapolis Colts, or will we get swept pathetically by the Colts, who aren't even good? We do pick up the win. We actually scored 34 points. The boys are actually back on track here, which sucks because I have to sell a lot of people after this Ravens game that just don't want to re-sign with us. You know, you have to. We're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. It's pretty obvious. So we have to be smart. Another +2 for Will Anderson. This dude should start being able to pick up sacks, and he should be close to getting some of those better abilities. At 85 overall, he'll get 2 slots, and I think he'll be able to get edge threat elite and all those stuff that'll make him literally the glitchiest dude in the game. Pay Pittman a couple more bucks, and he does not want it. I can find a better team in free agency. All right, go for it, bro, because you're going to get traded. So have fun in Cancun. And Nwosu, see if he accepts the stock offer. I don't hate paying him for him, and he'll take it. So we pick up the right outside linebacker again. We're going to have to trade all these dudes, which means our team is just going to suck unless I can find guys on bigger contracts. We'll try and finesse by trading the corner for a right guard and the right guard for a corner so that the team is interested and we can get the good value. We're facing the 6-1 Ravens though, which is going to be probably a loss. Now, one thing I find that's always stupid about the franchise stuff that I just discovered now, because I don't play a lot of franchise, is the fact that you have to reset those goals every single time, because it's literally making me change the goals every week. It just makes the week take 20,000 years when it should be a lot faster. So, you know, fix franchise mode, get it trending. Because this guy will probably end up being traded anyway, we're just going to continue to upgrade his overall. How close is he? He's not really close to getting hit. I know he's going to be a star. There's no shot he's superstar. So he should have a lot of value. We don't have to trade him yet. And he honestly could play left guard. But, again, after this week is when we will be making those changes, because week 8 is the trade deadline, I believe. So we'll see what we can do. We pick up the loss. It was close. We should get, we get some of those scouting so I can finally upgrade the strength. We play the Titans, which hopefully we can pick up a win there. We already have as many wins as we did last season. So, you know, whatever we do is improvement. I did set the season goal at, so we get 4 strength for the offensive line. So even if we have a crapper there, you should put in work, but see if we can make some moves. I'll hit you guys there. All right, boys. I literally think I just got shafted by EA. I just looked it up. It said, when is the trade deadline NFL? It said after week 8. So, I simmed to after week 8, and now I think because it's the Tuesday after week 8, the stupid EA thing sims you to Sunday, game day, or whatever. Even though we are able to practice and stuff, I just can't make trades. I literally tried, went through, turned the trade deadline off so I could make moves, and we're getting freaking shafted here. So, alright, so we got a deal done with the Cleveland Browns. What we did was we gave up Michael Pittman. Got rid of Byron Jones. We got rid of a third from next season, which, you know, who cares? We get Wyatt Teller, who's under contract for 3 more years. Elijah Moore, who's going to be under contract for at least another season after this one. Jack Conklin, I didn't check, so hopefully he's under contract for another season. But that gives us a lot of wiggle room because now we have still to trade. We have Shaq Mason. I'm actually going to check up on Jack Conklin. Oh, I didn't need a right tackle. I'm an idiot. All right, so we made a move. I did give up the first-round pick, which sucks, but I have a lot of value that I could probably get a first back. We got Paris Johnson, so he's an asset. We don't need a left tackle. We have Tunsil for anything, but we do get that center upgrade, which is huge, which means I can actually trade the center I have now. That center was the first overall pick, if you guys remember. So we have a lot of assets that we can do. It says we need a center, which isn't the case. But what we can go ahead and do is we can actually add Paris Johnson now. We have Carmichael, who has the thing. This guy has normal development because everybody in the draft class has it. I could set it to star, but I would have had to do that before the trade, so it was more fair. All right, we made a move for our cornerback, Jack Conklin, for Hobbs straight up. I didn't think they were going to accept it, so I probably lost this deal. But Hobbs has star development, so we'll take it. He's a good replacement for Byron Jones. He should be under contract for at least another season. But overall, I think we're sitting pretty solid here. We got Paris Johnson that we can still deal. Who else do we need to get rid of? Oh, honestly, I think we got rid of everybody, honestly. Now, wide receiver's looking a little bit weak, so maybe we try and trade for a better wide receiver. But other than that, we don't need anything. I'm going to see if I can get rid of Jerry Hughes because he's Jerry Hughes and he's just making unlimited money. But honestly, maybe see if we can get a big upgrade at wide receiver if anybody's interested in all of these guys. Tried to trade for Ayuk here. They just aren't interested, even though they really need a left tackle. It's tough to find somebody who's interested in all three. Nobody's green to make some trades at the actual draft. We'll give up a fourth. I don't really care about the fourth, but we can pick up a second. Paris Johnson, straight up, they actually took it, so I guess we'll take it. Very good thing I didn't give up that second round pick. Ooh, Jalen Carter. See if he can get less than 100 yards. He needs 1 sack to get to star development. See if he can do that. We did pick up the win against the Jaguars, which you love to see. Hey, my boy Jalen Carter gets the star development. Plus 20,000 XP. Holy crap. This dude is about to be cracked out. We did take a fat L to the Saints, giving up 45 points. That's just great defense. So we definitely need like another D tackle, I think, or something, because I don't understand why they are so god-awful. Miles Jack, we just need some abilities. Like, our abilities, just having no abilities sucks. Alright, I simmed 2 more weeks and we lost 2 more games, which sucks, but we should have a really high draft pick on the bright side. We play the Panthers, which should be a winnable game, but, I mean, man, I just don't understand why we're losing so much. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and sim to the end of the season, see if we can pick up a win, 1 more win, or if we lose both, we'll take it. And we actually we won them both, 7-10. We beat the Browns. So, I mean, this team is really, I've had a better overall team than basically every team we faced. But we'll take that. 70 staff points to use is big. Now, our draft position isn't going to be great, but maybe we trade it. Not sure. Depends on what pick will be. We got Tunsil, another upgrade. I'm going to go power, since we want to honestly be a running team. We have Stroud and Pierce. Pierce is going to be probably 90 overall by next season. Will Anderson, I was able to get another ability on him, which is nice. He's 85 overall now. I think that's with a boost, though, so he's actually 84. I was able to get buy one, get one on him. We should be pretty close to things like double or nothing. Where's edge threat? That's 90, so that's not a ways away, but we are close to like double or nothing, which is a good ability. But 85 overall, his stats are actually freaking amazing. He has 90 finesse moves, 86 speed, 78 block shed, and 88 strength because of those extra boosts we have. So he's looking really good. This was the first overall pick. I'm not sure if his stuff ever got developed. We want to continue to upgrade him as a pass blocker, even though it's not the cool thing to do. He is 4 snaps. He's probably a star, but he could be superstar. I mean, he was the first overall pick. But I want to continue to upgrade his pass protector because, you know, he has to block guys like Chris Jones, Vita Vea, and Derek Brown if you're looking within the division. So, but honestly, I feel like the boys progressed good. We set our goal for 7 wins. We picked up 7 wins. So next year is the year we want to make the playoffs. So again, this team needed a lot of work. So I wanted it to be a quick rebuild. That wasn't the case. But look at what we're going to be able to get on our boy Lovie Smith. And these upgrades are actually going to help us really a lot, because over here on the left side, we already did all of these upgrades, which are going to increase the XP during the training that we do. I could do this, but it's really a lot. I really want to try and get to here, or this right one. This is reveal a hidden trade development. Oh, that's kind of useless. That's just revealing a guy that we already know, so that's pretty much useless. I will start upgrading some of these though, just to get down here, because down here what you have is an additional focus player, and you can do 2 of those, or actually 3 of those. So 3 additional focus players would be huge. Getting those XP boosts. So that's what we're going to try and do. Do I have to? I actually don't. So we're going to be able to get 2 right off the bat, which huge for the boys, huge upgrades. So overall next year, I want to see a lot of those guys take a step. I wish Stroud was able to get to superstar this year, but we will go ahead and check the stats anyways. And going through and looking at the stats and the awards, CJ Stroud had a terrible season. He regressed significantly. Oh my God. He regressed in completion percentage, less touchdowns, more interceptions, less yards. I did take away one of his weapons in Michael Pittman Jr. We rushed for a lot of yards, though, which is probably a good explanation. We have our stuff set as a running team. We're a power running team, but 20 rushing touchdowns from these guys, that's progress. We definitely had more yards per game, so this is a good decision to sign that backup running back. We signed him on a 1-year deal, so we will need to re-sign him. Jerry Jeudy, an underwhelming season, but again, we didn't pass the ball all that much. Good balance between all these guys. Zay Jones was actually the guy who just got force-fed. Again, just not a lot of passing touchdowns. Blocking. McGlinchey, Tunsil had a better season. These guys played well. We did trade a lot of these guys after week 9, so take that with a grain of salt. Nice, Rashaan Evans, he did his thing. Kirksey, probably want to upgrade that back and middle linebacker since we're in a 3-4. Sacks, Will Anderson at 9. Gregory, kind of underwhelming, but he's probably playing coverage a lot. He should be rushing a good amount, though, in a 3-4. Carter, solid season for him. Tackles for losses, sacks. Huff, for how much he rushed the passer, he should have had more than 3.5 sacks. Did anyone make any good picks? Glad to see Stingley is just developing really well as a tackler and literally doing nothing else. But did we force any fumbles at all? We forced 2 fumbles throughout the season. I mean, dude, our defense killed us. Our offense wasn't great when you look at the numbers either, honestly. Were we close in winning any awards at all? MVP went to Jalen Hurts, no surprise there. And we're back to reality with like no crapper quarterbacks being in the top, like Heineke. That year was really odd. AFC, oh boy. None of these dudes had a good season, but yeah, so we'll see you guys in the off season. We'll send to the Super Bowl. All right, we are back. Yes, this is another time period that I'm recording in. We're doing these at separate times because they take a little bit to do. But we got the season recap. Chiefs defeated the Eagles. How creative a prediction from EA. Chiefs won. Hurts MVP. Cup Opoy. Bosa Depoy. Those are the rookies of the year. And the Bengals won coach of the year. So that's going to do it for this second season. And now we have the off season, which is really where we make our money. Managed staff. I think we're just going to roll with the boys. Honestly, I don't know how you really look at candidates, so we're probably going to roll with the boys. All right, now the way we play this free agency period is going to be a little bit interesting because we do have that pick that we have to factor into the equation that we can address a couple different positions. Now, this free agency class, I'm not going to lie, it's completely stacked out. But we have $66 million in cap room, and we had nobody really to re-sign, so we can do a lot here. Obviously, the quarterback position is certainly interesting. You got Jalen Hurts, you have Justin Herbert, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league, and then we have a guy like Trayvon Diggs that I would love. There's 0 teams interested as of now, so that's probably going to be the guy that we go all out for because he is a guy with abilities. We don't have any really abilities. Honestly, Ayuk is another guy I would definitely try and get potentially as an upgrade over a guy like Zay Jones. Or the depth I wouldn't hate. Michael Pittman, he is not interested. Awuzie also has abilities. He's older and he is a little bit worse, but he would not be a terrible guy to get. Derek Brown is a guy, I don't know why they have him at right end, but honestly, I do think I want a middle linebacker and D-tackle. Offensively, we are pretty good, honestly. Ed Oliver, he already has 4 teams interested. He's not interested really at all. There's not really any D-tackles, honestly. We wouldn't be worse. Wouldn't be the worst thing to just re-sign Malik Collins here. Maybe we try and just make a deal. We got Mozzie Smith here. I don't know how he's already in free agency after 2 seasons, but it's going to be EA for you. Who else? We could use the right end Nick Bosa. There's 11 teams interested, so I don't think that's going to work. Derek Brown is interesting, but I think we're just going to throw in that deal for Trayvon Diggs. See if we get him. I'm actually just going to throw in a deal for both of them, honestly. Him and Awuzie, because you don't get one, you get the other. And if we do get them, I'm going to go 4 years because he wants 4 years. I mean, you might as well give him the more years. I don't know how long this rebuild's going to last, but we're going to give Trayvon 4 years. Awuzie wants 1 year. We're going to try and offer him 2 years. And once again, only guys, Awuzie has a lot of teams interested. We do have the best offer. We should get Diggs flat out. And if we get them both, all the better. It gives us a couple of assets to work with. And then we need a backup running back. Who do we have available? Pirine, Edwards-Helaire. He has that star development that I like. Madison has star development. James Robinson has star development. He's actually interested. Or we go Zach Moss. I want someone who's a little bit faster, a good pass catcher, some speed, if that makes any sense. So I think I'm going to try and get one of these other guys. Zach Moss is slower. But we want a little bit of a better pass catcher. This guy has no offers anyway, so we're just going to throw him another 1 year deal. He's probably not going to be interested at all, but he's going to take it because he has no other offers. So we got that backup running back, and then we need that wide receiver position, which we're going to throw an offer to Brandon Ayuk for 4 years again. This gives us some room to work with. Zay Jones, his contract's going to be coming off the books, so this deal really won't change. It'll just simply be an upgrade. Now, since Derek Brown has no offers, I am going to offer him. If we hit him, I'm going to move him to D-tackle because that's really actually his true position. So here are, we have 5 offers. See what happens. All right, so we got everyone besides Edwards-Helaire. I know you can't necessarily see it right now on the screen. I will scroll down. So we got everyone besides Edwards-Helaire, which he'll probably sign after today. But we got Diggs, we got Ayuk, we got Awuzie, and we got Derek Brown, which we will move to D-tackle. So this gives us a lot to work with. We still have that number 1 pick, so we could do a lot here. Just kind of stack these. Oh my God! Of course, the Colts just got Nick Bosa. That's going to be fun, isn't it, boys? Just him going to the division. You gotta love that, don't you? Other than that, honestly, I'll see you guys if we make another signing. We have about $5 million, so I am gonna have to make some moves to free up some cap space. All right, so we got the Zay Jones deal. This is a deal that frees up some cap room for us, and we dump a couple picks. We get a second from next season in return. Probably looking to use that at the deadline because I expect us to be good this season. We have made a lot of upgrades. I think I also have some corners that I can deal. I'll probably just add the draft picks, honestly, or maybe try and get like a really upgrade at wide receiver. So we have Hobbs, we have Stingley, we have King here. We have a lot of guys. I'm going to look to move Desmond King because he is the youngest, or the oldest rather. He has the most money to his name besides these guys, which we're not going to move. And I might try and just get another upgraded wide receiver. See if we can get Elijah Moore for someone elite. All right, boys, we made a big deal here. We got rid of Desmond King, Elijah Moore, and my first from this year. Got Christian Kirk and their second this year in return. So we have a big upgraded wide receiver. Christian Kirk does have abilities at this particular moment in time, so that's going to be huge. We get our first superstar development. Gives us an 88, an 87, and another 87 at wide receiver. And I have 3 second-round picks now. I'm going to try and move buy myself back into the first round. All right, boys, we got a huge upgrade at middle linebacker. Traded our first round from next year and one of our seconds, our highest second from this year. We get Nick Bolton. Now, this doesn't leave us with the most assets, but he's actually on a cheap contract, probably up after next year. But we're going all in here. Pick up a second middle linebacker. Now, this wasn't necessarily needed because I am going to switch to a 4-3 defense because we want to use both those D tackles. But this dude is slow, so he can come in if anyone gets injured or is tired. But it's a huge upgrade. I mean, he has an X factor, I believe. Or actually, maybe he doesn't. He's just star, but he could easily develop. Trust me on that one. Now, draft picks wise, the one position I would want is maybe move back into the first round, get a backup running back if we can't pick up Edwards-Helaire. But honestly, these I'm fine with. And you're not going to really be able to move into like pick 6, for example. Like, it's not really close. If I give up another second from next year, we have 2 actually. Yeah, you're going to see if we can get around pick 10. All right, we traded back into the first round of this year, giving up 2 of our seconds this year and our second next year. So we have absolutely nothing for next year, but honestly, we don't really need anything. I mean, look at our team. We have 4 really good cornerbacks. We have 2 really good safeties. We have 2 good middle linebackers. I mean, I'll show you guys the roster as of right now. See if Edwards-Helaire signs. He probably will. We can, honestly, if he signs, we can trade that for a second next year or first next year probably because those star development guys just have really good value. But Here's a look at the offense. Stroud, we need you to take the extra step. You're really what's holding us back. Your poor play. Rest of the team, offensive line is really good. This guy is star development, so that's okay. But he's already 79 overall. It's going to be his second year. Wide receiving core looking really, really good. We have Pierce. Again, we'll sign a backup running back. Defensively, it's sensational. Again, I switched to the 4-3, so both these boys will be playing. And then we got Diggs, Adewuzie, we got Stingley in the slot, Hobbs at corner 4 if need be. We got Huff, which is really the weakest link. Then we got Randy Gregory also. Again, he's kind of regressed as well. His contract's up, I think. So another edge rusher could help. If we're really struggling, we could move Derek Brown back to that other left end position and switch to a 3-4 maybe, just so we can get one of these guys rushing, because having them in coverage might be a little bit troublesome. We'll see how the season plays out. We can always make those changes. So just need to sign kicker, punter, fullback, and we'll be getting business. All right, so we did get CEH here. Let's hop into the draft. So we're going to make a pick. We're a win-now team. So who do we got available? This dude was very good when I was looking at him. 5'10 elusive back. He could be filthy, and then we could trade CEH for something. This guy was decent as well. A power moves. I like that. This is more of a position of need than running back, although the running back is very interesting. We're going to take him. And looks like we hit it on the money. Hidden development, we'll certainly take that. That left end we have now is decent, but he's not great. If the rebuild continues, this guy will be solid in his place. Hopefully he can develop at a decent enough clip, and that is going to be our selection in this year's draft. Oh my God, look at these Dameon Pierce stats after he just got an upgrade. 90 speed, 95 break tackle, 94 carry, 95 trucking, 87 stiff arm. Juke spin are weak, and his catching it's fine. It's doable. 69 catches the ball, so. All right, boys, we are finally in week 1 after a long offseason where we made a ton of moves. Here is a final look at the team. We still have the trade deadline if everything goes terrible, which it really shouldn't. This team is absolutely insane. Definitely the best in the NFL. CJ Stroud, it's up to you, my man. We put all the keys. We gave you the keys. You got to step up here because you could not have a better supporting cast. Look at the offensive line. You shouldn't get touched. Look at the weapons. 90, 90, 87. That's going to be a 90 after this year. 89, Dameon Pierce, who's going to be a 90 very soon. You're really the weakest link on offense. Now, I would have loved to sign Jalen Hurts, but this rebuild is about you, so didn't do that. Now, defensively, where's my boy Nick Bolton? I don't know. We'll figure that out. We have Nick Bolton, the middle linebacker. Here's the rest of the squad. Solid, solid. Unless they cut him. Please don't tell me they cut him. Okay, so it says he's injured. I literally had injuries off, so I'm going to have to try and figure out how to get rid of that. Okay, so he's only out 1 week, so I'm just going to roll the dice. We turned practice injuries off from now on. I don't know if that's it, but we do have a good backup middle linebacker, and we're in a 4-3 anyway, so really shouldn't affect things. One last thing I have to do is check the specialist, and then we'll hop into that sim. All right, sim in week 1, we don't have Nick Bolton, but our team is significantly better than the Raiders are, although they are top heavy. And we get the dub. Good sign for the season. We've never won that first game. Division is all 1-0, but we'll definitely take that. We get Nick Bolton back. Love to see it. Week 2 against a much tougher Vikings team. This is going to be a real test. We get Nick Bolton back. Can we pick up this win against Minnesota? Let's see what we got. Come on, come on, come on. Taking a while because we're so far in. And we pick up the win, 21-18, so it's really our defense that's carrying us, but that's what we signed in free agency, is for our defense to carry us, because the offense, despite being a 92 overall, is continuously lackluster, probably because of the quarterback position. Now here's a look at the disaster that we have to re-sign this offseason. So we're really hoping that we make a deep playoff run. At that point, I would call it quits on the video. If we don't make the playoffs, then I would have to run back another year. We have a lot of cap space, but Nick Bolton expects a fat contract. Eddie Jackson probably could make a move for a better free safety, so I'm not sweating him. Jerry Jeudy would want to re-sign him, although not necessary. Will Anderson, got to re-sign him. Dickerson, got to re-sign him. I don't know why he has no interest. He'll probably have interest after we start winning. McGlinchey, Stroud, he has no interest. Well, you're the reason our team hasn't been good. Carter, Hobbs. So we got a lot of guys. which is why we're in win now mode. CJ Stroud, step up for us, bro. All right, week 3 against the Patriots. They are 0-2. See what we can get cracking. And we pick up another 28-14 win. The defense is just phenomenal right now. You see all those ranks on the bottom left. 1, defensive rush, best run defense in the league, 3rd best pass defense, 2nd in points per game. Again, the offense, the passing offense specifically, is lackluster. We have a kind of a run scheme, so it's expected for it not to be as good, but passing should be better than that because we have all those dudes. All right, here we got a huge week against Jacksonville. 3-0 teams, us, the Colts, and the Jags. So these division games are seemingly the most important out of any that we'll play. And waiting, pick up another win, just 10 points. It's got to be the defense. Defense is really going to carry us if we're going to make a Super Bowl run right now. Holy crap. Defense, offense had a good week as well, so we will definitely take that. And overall, again, I just don't think anyone can hang with our team. Again, you really want to win that division because I think whoever wins our division is going to be the one that gets that number 1 overall seed. All right, we sent 2 more games. We did drop 1 to the Packers, but we ended up beating the football team right there. Defense sold in the Packers one. We get up 31 points. You're not going to win many games doing that. And the Colts just never lose, so those games cannot stress enough how massive those games are going to be. So sim a couple more games, and I'll hit you before that Colts game. All right, boys, we won those next 2 games. I think it was the Steelers and the Titans. And we are 7-1 going into the 7-0 Colts team. Now, this Colts team sucks. I mean, it really does suck. We're 5 overalls better and 9 overalls better on offense. I really don't understand how they're good at all. Now, we will go through and check out their roster just because they've been so good. Our team, I mean, holy crap, bro. Look at all these 90-plus overalls. Like, come on, dude. Jalen Carter's 90. I don't know how this dude got to 90 overall. What the hell is he? What has he been eating? He's +7 because of all those stats. I don't know what's going on, but we'll take it. Oh, I think we have some boosts. We have some boosts this week, so that's what's boosting the overalls a lot. So take this with a grain of salt. Also, with this a development game for CJ Stroud, so if he can get 350 more yards or 4 touchdowns and not throw a pick, then we're good. Now, Nick Bosa was their big boy signing, so Nick Bosa. He's going to be tough, but we have Laramie Tunsil for that reason. I wish he had abilities so we got through secure protector, but they're pretty top heavy. JT, Bosa, Buckner, Nelson, Shaq Leonard. I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Kenny Moore. Van Der Esch they signed as well. So their team is good, but it's just not as deep as ours. Like, they have weaknesses. Can't say that we really have any weaknesses. So we're going to go through and simulate the week with you guys. They are 7-0. I didn't even really check the offense, but you didn't even see the QB in there. Anthony Richardson is like a 70-something overall, and we lose. Not even close. So CJ Stroud definitely did not hit his thing. Tough scenes for the boys. All right, we're going to simulate this one as well. It's a big game. The Jaguars are even worse than the Colts, but they just have T-Law, who makes probably the difference for them. I mean, we did fleece them for Christian Kirk, so he has like even less weapons. I mean, come on, bro. This should be a win. We have the Colts after this week, so we got to win these next 2. I mean, come on, bro. Must-win game. Must-win game. Hopping into this Colts game, can we secure the win? That is the real question. Can we get this win? Again, same team we have, same team they have. 5 overalls better. This time we're at home. We have that home field advantage. We have every boost you can have in the books, and that's huge. We get a win. We do stay alive in that division. I think we have another game against the Jaguars, but we're going to need some help from some teams because we just had to give the Colts their first loss, so they must either have the greatest schedule ever or I don't know, they're just the best team ever, but huge win for us. All right, boys, since it is the bye week, a little bit over the halfway mark of the season, we're just going to show you how the boys are developing. Now, a lot of morale goes into this. I have some of those boosts because of the coordinators and all that franchise coaching upgrade crap. But here is a look at the team. I mean, come on, bro. Just so stacked. I don't know why Judy just gets no love. Dude just hates it here. He just cannot stand living in Houston or something. 94 overall, Dameon Pierce. CJ Stroud up to an 88 overall. No excuse for him. I mean, bro, boys are stacked. Taking a look at the defense, which is actually where it gets a little bit better. I guess they drafted us a good corner. 7th round, CPU, GM just goes crazy. But we got Eddie Jackson, 88. Nick Bolton at a 94. Petrie's up to an 86, and then take a look at the corners. We got Awuzie, 89, Diggs, 93, Will Anderson up to a 90, 91, 90. I mean, bro, come on. We shouldn't be losing games out here, especially to the Indianapolis Colts. All right, 2 more weeks. We beat Detroit, and then we went ahead, beat the Jets. So we're sitting at 10-3. The Colts have not lost again, so that number 1 seed is looking tough. I guess we did play the Jaguars earlier in the year. I don't remember if we won or lost. I think we did win, though. Don't remember, but anyways, we have a nice game against the Titans coming up. Rest of the schedule doesn't look too terrible. Miami is definitely a tough game, but overall, hit you guys in a couple games once again. All right, we lost to Miami, sadly, but we did end up picking up the win against the Bills. Things could have got interesting if we beat Miami because the Colts did drop one, but 2 games off. They had the tiebreaker, I think. So we need them to lose to us to win too. They probably played the Titans, of course, but sitting at 11-4 is a decent spot. Should at least have a home wildcard game, I would hope. Or never mind, I meant road wildcard game because you can't actually get a home playoff game if you don't win the division, which does suck. That's what happened to the Cowboys this year. All right, simming to the playoffs here because, I don't really care who we end up playing because we're not going to host anyway. And we did win out. The Colts lost one, but they won the other. So again, just losing to Miami screws us. We placed the Jets, who we did destroy that first time we played them. They were 6-6 at the time, and they have ran the table with Aaron Rodgers to get into that playoff spot, which I would assume is that force hold. They did win their division. We got some upgrades for the boys, so we're going to go ahead and do those, and then we'll check out some of the stuff about the matchup and the season. All right, so let's get a look here at the playoff picture. What's going to happen if we win this game? So we are in this 5-hole as we predicted. So if every team takes care of business, we will have a date in Indianapolis, which you don't want to see. So you're hoping either the Jags or the Ravens can come through with an upset. Jags, again, no walk in the park either. So actually, I don't think there's any chance of us. I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll hope that we play whoever we want to play. Taking a look at here, the other side of the bracket, the Eagles are 1. I don't really feel like this side is too strong. We destroyed the Lions, destroyed the Rams in preseason. We beat a lot of these teams. I don't really remember playing any of the other ones. I think we beat the Niners. Over here, don't really remember playing any of them besides the Jets and the Jags and the Colts. But let's take a look at how the boys did this season. Going through here, and let's go to the stats. CJ Stroud, hopefully you had a better season. A little bit of a better season. Definitely improved on his completion percentage by 4%. 1% better than his rookie year. He had a better touchdown to interception ratio than he's ever had. Yards, pretty good. I don't remember the rookie year all that often. It was yesterday. Dameon Pierce had the best season of his career, 1,300 yards. Edwards-Helaire, 400 yards. That's decent for what he had to do. He's mainly a pass catcher. Stroud, again, you would have liked him to run the ball a little bit more. Kirk picked up 100 on the ground. Receiving-wise, Ayuk, oh my God. I did not know Ayuk was built like that. 1,500 yards. This dude should definitely be at superstar development. You had 1,500 yards. EA's doing him dirty. Schultz, he's good for 50 a game. Kirk, solid. Judy, always underperforming. Surprised Edwards-Helaire did not have more yards than Pierce, but it is what it is. Taking a look at the blocking, how did the boys do on the line? McGlinchey was significant regression from last season. Not sure why our offensive line was better, but whatever. Sacks, the move of Derek Brown was huge. Will Anderson had himself a huge year, which is a big reason this defensive line had never been this good ever. Jalen Carter is your 5th guy with 5 sacks. That's going to be good. So our defense was significantly better. That probably has to do with the coverage being better. We probably forced a lot of turnovers. You got Diggs, you got Awuzie doing their things. Did we force any more fumbles? Yeah, we doubled up that, so solid. Take a look at these awards. Were we in contention for any of these awards? MVP is 73 overall. That's their new quarterback, by the way. Somehow they are the 1 seed with this trash can at the QB position because Hurts went somewhere else. I don't know where he went, but he did go somewhere else. Nobody we know. Heineke has led the Chargers to the playoffs. That dude is just the greatest ever, huh? Because Herbert left. Coach of the year, we were 2nd this dude wins it over us despite us having a better record and freaking dominating him head to head. You know, you love to see that. Taylor, this dude must just carry. Holy crap. Caleb Knight, just the greatest player ever, huh? Depoy, Nick Bosa, so they had Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. That's a good formula. So clearly, Anthony Richardson doesn't have to do much. Will Anderson should be way higher. We have Derek Brown and him. 15.5 sacks. There's just no way. Great. He's a 91 overall. How? Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, we have none of these. Best QB, CJ Stroud 9th. But anyways, let's hop into this playoff game. See if we can pick up a dub. Now again, we are facing the Jets. We beat them 38-31, so it actually was a tougher game than I thought to end the year out there. These were the scores of those last two games, if anyone was wondering. But yeah, we face the Jets here. It's going to be a dogfight. I'm just hoping we can come out on top. And yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's go ahead and simulate this game. Nothing left to do but put the controller down, hope for the best. And we do. 48-42 is insane. We get a home game though. That's big. Getting a home game in the second round as a 5 seed is huge. The Jaguars came through with the upset, and this is what we wanted to see. Now, all we can hope for is that the Baltimore Ravens, both teams took care of business like we wanted. So this is going to give us the home game. We need the Baltimore Ravens to somehow take care of business. Do I expect them to? No chance, because I just can't imagine their defense being good at all, specifically the run defense. Over here, Dallas, every single away team won in the playoffs, which probably has never been done if I had to guess. But, you know, I'm happy with how our side of the bracket turned out. You just got to hope for the Ravens to do well. Obviously, we got to take care of business ourselves. Now, I was going to do this before we actually hopped into that first game, but I forgot. So here's the team. We are sitting at a 92 overall, which we were a 90 for most of the season. We jump up to a 92. McGlinchey, you are pathetic on the right side. You figure it out. Offensive line looking amazing. CJ Stroud up to an 89 overall. This dude's doing their thing. Judy actually up to an 89, which is surprising. Dude never goes up. Even our 5th receiver and our 6th receivers looking really dang good. Edwards-Helaire up to an 85, which is actually crazy. Defensively, what more could you want? We still have this dude again. Remember, Puff leaves, we got this dude waiting in the wings. Corners looking stacked. Stingley, I honestly don't get how he didn't progress more. Jalen Carter had you beat. Like, come on, dude. I know we have those strength boosts, which really help his stats, but 95, I mean, come on. I'm going to take a look at the Jaguars roster as well. Now, I did just go ahead and double check, and we did sweep the Jaguars. We won that first game. I really did forget, but take a look at their team. I mean, come on. Trevor Lawrence is going to do T-Law things. You have Evan Ingram, who has a X-Factor, ETN, just a star development. Miles Jack, who they stole from us, is up to an 89 overall. But hey, we got Nick Bolton, so everything worked out. He regressed from superstar X-Factor to superstar. Sheriff, superstar. Tyson Campbell at the cornerback position is going to be a problem. Again, they have no really weapons because we have Christian Kirk on the other sideline. It's going to be a revenge game for him. They have Byron Jones, who still is solid. He's doing better than I thought. Trayvon Walker, the 1st overall pick. We know what he can do. Why do they have so many running backs? This team is just seemingly poorly constructed. I mean, you have 384 overall running backs. I mean, come on. I think we know what they want to do. They want to run the ball and they want to go to play action because we did give them Elijah Moore. This dude is a superstar. They must have drafted him. But, I mean, not the greatest. Come on, dude. We have Diggs. We have Awuzie. We signed them for this reason. Ingram could be a problem, but we have Nick Bolton hopefully doing things down. I mean, our D-line should really just crap on this team. Their D-line is terrible. You have Cleveland Farrell as one of your starters. It's not going to be the greatest for you. So, I mean, they have Desmond King, which we also gave them as a starter. I think we gave them, but, I mean, should definitely be a dub in the books for the boys. All right, once again, hand off the controller. Can't do much here. Can we pick up a win? We do. 31-17, which was a common occurrence, and we got ourselves a date with the Indianapolis Colts. I wouldn't want to face any other team. Going to Indy, division matchup, hostile environment. I don't want to face any other team. Take a look at Jonathan Taylor's stats, 2,254 rushing yards. That is a record, ladies and gentlemen, and 26 rushing touchdowns to go along with it. That is crazy. Their offensive line must be insane. So their passing was 23rd, rushing obviously 1. But we're not too far behind them. They averaged 166 yards on the ground. Their defense is really good as well, despite them. I mean, yeah. The 84 overall offense is really just carried by Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be a tough one. We split the season series. We both won at home, so we have not won here. They want us to defend the outside run. I can't argue with that. Offensively, what do we want to do? You know what? Defense, rushing, passing. They have a good run defense. Throwing it deep. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm going to let the game take care of it. All right, now I'm going to run through the Indianapolis Colts roster just one more time here. Depth chart, which is not what I wanted to do, but I guess this is probably a better way to look at it anyways. Colts, Anthony Richardson's an 82 overall. Again, he has normal development, if I'm not mistaken. They have Davis Mills. Did we give them him? I don't know. They have Davis Mills. Jonathan Taylor, 99 overall. I mean, come on, bro. 96 speed. This dude is freaking insane. He's not going to fumble. And he's a walking 5 yards at the minimum. Tight end or wide receivers, they suck. I would just run commit every single play. These dudes are not going to get open. Tight end, he's 82 speed. That tells you the story. Their offensive line is just way worse than ours. They have good left guard, right tackle. Defensively, Paya's a good piece. Nick Bosa, obviously, just loved how they got him. Holy crap. Their D-line is going to be a problem. Their defense is really good just because of the X factors and all that stuff they have. And then they have money because they haven't had to pay Richardson yet, obviously. Corners, a little bit weak. But, I mean, bro, they're pretty dang stacked. I'm not sure. Their overall doesn't necessarily reflect it, but you just got to hope that we can outscore them and our defense makes some plays at the end of the day. I'm going to go through and I'm going to simulate it. Fingers crossed for the boys. Oh, 27-21. And that is unfortunate. Seattle, which would have been such an easy Super Bowl as well because the Seahawks just sucked so bad. I mean, I guess they're just the highest scoring team ever. Who the crap is on that offense? God dang it. Unfortunate. I'm just going to sim to the end of the Super Bowl. Probably call it a video because we're losing all those pieces. Overall, the rebuild was definitely completed. We got our contract extended, but this video has already been super long, I can tell, just in my head on how much I filmed. So, see if the Colts get it done. They really ruined us. Jonathan Taylor. Maybe I should have just traded for Jonathan Taylor next time I'm in a rebuild because, and the Seahawks win. I love to see that. I think the Seahawks drafted a QB that 1 year. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, oh yeah, they'd kill. There you go. They'd kill Williams. Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year again. And I mean, there you guys go. So that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys want more rebuilds, Panthers mentioned a couple of teams that we could do. Seattle would be a good one as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.